How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. I am in Vancouver right now, and I'm going to talk about some tips and tricks on how you can save money. This video is brought to you by the Moomoo trading app. You can get up to 10 free shares of stock valued up to $25,000 just for signing up and depositing $100. Check out my referral link down in the video description below. First of all, I drove from the Bay Area into Canada, and before you arrive at the border, you need to download an app called Arrive, CAN. In this app, you have to scan in your passport and put in your vaccine information. Waiting in line was about 3 to 5 minutes or so, and then when I went up to the toll booth like thing, you just drive right through. They asked for my passport, how long I'm staying, and if I carried any weapons with me, and after all the questioning, it took less than a minute or so, and off I go on my way. Now, if you are doing a lot of credit card churning, you might be getting a lot of Visa gift cards, and you might be wondering if you can use these internationally. The answer is they do not work. And also, an interesting fact I found out recently is that you cannot buy lottery tickets with your Visa gift cards either. You also cannot redeem a California lottery ticket in Oregon, which is something I also tried to do. If you win something in the California lottery, you have 180 days to redeem your prizes. Canada also has a Safeway, but unfortunately, your club card number does not translate from the US to Canada. Having too many coins is like a pet peeve of mine. You just don't want to hold on to any of them because it's so heavy. You don't want to spend them because it takes too long. You rather just use bills or a charge card. So if you find yourself in Vancouver or if you're in Richmond and you have an abundance of coins, you might want to change them in. The tips and tricks is roughly the same as in the Bay Area. If you have a bank account, you can put all those coins in a roll and actually deposit it into your bank account. Van City, 2 years ago, before the pandemic, they had a change machine. You just have to provide your ID and you can put all your change in and they'll give you cash, but they no longer do this. The only way you can change your coins back into bills if you are a foreign traveler is you go to a real Canadian superstore and they have a Coinstar machine. Now, Coinstar machines have a small fee, 11.9%. The strategy would be to not change anything 25 cents or over because you can easily spend coins that are fairly large. They have 25 cent, $1, and $2. I also got the chance to use my Charles Schwab card. Withdrawing $50 cost me a $3 ATM fee. Now on my Charles Schwab account, it appears as $41.22. The exchange rate would then be 0.777. And if you look up on Google, that's roughly where it is right now. It's like 0.78, give or take a little bit. So the Charles Schwab investor checking account is actually very good. They tend to group all of the ATM fees towards the end of the month, so you might not see it credited immediately. The US dollar is quite strong against the Canadian dollar right now. So any amount that you see that says Canadian dollars, you want to convert it back to US dollars, right? So you just take 20% off roughly. It's actually 22% off. So for $10, you just go, okay, 20% is $2 is really $8. If you want to be super accurate, minus $2.2. So that's $7.80 really. I remember about 10 years ago, USD to Canadian is actually on parity, so $1 for one. So if you're thinking about going to Canada, this is actually a really good time. Everything is 20% off, but I have to warn you guys, from my experience, the things that I'm buying here, it just kind of feels like, you know, like 10% cheaper than the Bay Area after you do the conversion. You might also be interested, what's the deal with tipping? Because I've gone to some Asian countries where they go, no tipping is necessary at all or expected. So right here, yeah, you do have to pay tips. So for sit-down restaurants, I do a minimum of 15%. I drove my car from Vancouver to an island. Now, how did I do that? It's actually taking the car on a ferry. So you can drive your car right onto this boat, and then when you arrive, you drive right off. They actually don't turn the ferry around. It seems like they start the ferry on one port, and when they arrive at the other port, and just go straight right in, and all your cars just go straight right out. And then after all the cars go out, they don't turn around or anything. The cars come right back onto the ferry. So it seems like they go one way forward to the other terminal, the port, and then they go backwards the entire way. Like they go forward and backwards all this time, so then they reduce the amount of time of turning around, and I think this is super smart. The cost to take the ferry is $18 per person each way, and for an undersized vehicle, they actually vary the amount of money they charge me. One way was $59, and the other way was $76.50 for any vehicle under 20 feet. There's a small fuel charge of like $2 to $3 or so. So this gives you an idea of a rough amount of how much it costs to take your car over to Victoria Island. There are a lot of places that requires you to pay for parking, but I found out even in downtown Vancouver, as long as you drive about 3 or 4 blocks away, and it's not that long to walk 3 or 4 blocks, right? Then it's gonna start becoming cheaper and cheaper, and the longer that you can park, right? If you go right across the main road, you can park for 1 hour. If you go half a block or 1 block away, then you can park for 2 whole hours. Back in Vancouver, at Stevens Harbor, I even saw a parking lot where it's paid on one side and the other half was completely free. And there's a whole bunch of people that parked on the paid side, so I don't know what's up with that. There's a popular place called Richmond Night Market. It's $7 admission per person. Most of the food is kind of on the pricey side. It's like $10 to $15 per item, and it's not even that big. I need probably like 2 or 3 rounds of that in order to get full. They also charge $10 per game for carnival games. So I think this is kind of ridiculous, right? Even after the conversion rate, that's like $8 to do one single try of whatever, like tossing a ball or like climbing on some rope ladder thing, and if you get to the end you can get like a huge stuffed animal like that's that big. But you know, usually if you go to carnival games, it's not that expensive. Maybe it might be like $5 at most per try. I've eaten at least 30 different places. So I'm just gonna talk about some of the places that really wowed me, and I think it's worth it to go if you live around here or like if you're visiting. So here we go. I'm gonna just run through them really quickly. Hey Hey Rice Roll in Richmond. Very good rice roll. Celine's Fish and Chips on Granville Island. Their halibut and chips is very good. Fish is moist and very crispy. Cheesecake, etc. in Granville. It's very light. It's kind of like a cross between Junior's Cheesecake in New York and a cream cheese mousse. It has a very strong cheesy flavor and I like it. I would get it again. Craft Beer Market Falls Creek. I just happened to pass by, had good ratings, and they had a very good poutine. The fries are nice and crispy. The gravy is very flavorful, and the cheese curds or mozzarella, it tastes a little bit better than normal cheese curds in other poutines, and also their beers are very fresh and cold. Chef Tony Seafood Restaurant in Richmond has very good egg white egg tarts. The custard is nice and warm when you receive it. The pastry on the outside is nice and flaky, it's warm, it's buttery, so that's as good as you can make it. And I'd say it's, you know, way up there in terms of egg custard tarts. Their other dim sum items are very good, but I think Seafood Wong in Santa Clara is still better than Chef Tony. Aiden and Kwanju De Beijing Duck House, or in Chinese, they call it Jingju De. I had the Peking duck there. The duck's skin, they give it to you separately and you dip it in a little bit of brown sugar crystals, and it's very good. It's very crispy. The duck is very good, except the meat of the duck could be a little bit more tender than I've had in the past. Beacon Drive-In on Victoria Island is kind of like a surprise find. When I had the ice cream, it's like, whoa, I think they just use heavy cream for the ingredients because it has a very creamy, it's like super duper creamy, flavorful type of ice cream, and you know, I ate it very quickly. It's very good. Their burgers are also very good too. It's very juicy. But I would say the bun is kind of like slightly soggy. But overall, I give the ice cream like a 9.5. And the burger kind of like an 8. Uchida Eatery on Victoria Island, it's like a very interesting find because there's just only one guy, the store owner, I assume, is working there. This is Japanese guy, and he makes these bentos. And when I ordered it online, it's like the only thing that you can order is like, you know, most of the other options like sashimi bento, it's all gone. So there's only one thing, that's all you get to order, and it was like $20 for one little bento thing. Remember, $20 is like 16 USD. There are very few places that makes a bento this good. It's very fresh, very authentic, and I would say petite. It's on the small side. The definition of ikigai is a Japanese concept referring to something that gives a person a sense of purpose, a reason for living. I feel like the owner who makes this, he is like in the zone when he makes his food, and it reflects on the food itself. You can taste the care he put into the food. Everything is put into the proper place, just the best that he can do. That's all I have for you for today. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.